Duale has become a crying baby ati amenyimwa interview na wenye Standard, na bado mtaona mambo. Angalia, ndio hizi headlines za Standard.
So guys, my previous post is on how we should not give politicians platforms and attention seekers, quote unquote, like Kasamueli, and traitors and snakes and everyone who is a bad person, how we should not give them our platforms. And I've seen that Spice FM wali cancel abruptly interview Aden Duale. Now that's the spirit we need. That is the spirit we need. Don't give these people attention. Unajua juzi tulikuwa kwa live na Wes na Karemaina na Dhogwo. And Kare kuna kitu alisema and it stuck between my ears. Alisema we should not be entertaining Rigiji. It hurt me, but I saw the sense in it. Alisema we should not be entertaining him kwa sababu he's doing all this because he was impeached. Kama hangekuwa impeached, angekuwa kinyamaza tukiteseka. That's for one. Two, gotire mwishi na mushodha niliria. Hakuna venye anaweza tuambia ati Kasongo simitaki hivyo. Hakuna venye anaweza tuambia ati Must Go alikuwa naiba, yeye akimwangalia tu akisema Gai wacha kuiba, Gai wacha tu. He's not a saint. He isn't. We should not give them our platforms on a serious note. Yani mimi, today I've been on a burial and they were given, politicians who attended were given a platform. Na waliniuthi. We shouldn't.
Former Deputy President, don't become pedestrian. Don't reduce yourself to a street talker. When you take the mic, when you are in charge, a very sacred ground, say the truth. Leave the president alone. Wait for your time, 2027, and have an agenda for the people of Kenya.
When my good friend Rigiji, who I have served with him in cabinet, you know, when he says, when he praises GNC, he's the same guy who brought the goons who wanted to ban parliament, wanted to ban the Supreme Court, who wanted to ban Harambee House. Those three buildings are the center and the epitome and the symbol of the three arms of government.
Who brought the goons?
Rigiji brought the goons.
Really?
Really?
How do you know that?
I was a Minister of Defense. I have the intelligence.
Very good. So you are Minister of Defense. You sat in the National Security Council, right? Which consumes the highest level of intelligence in this country.
Yes.
True? And the other members are the President, the Deputy President.
Let me even give you. The President, the Deputy President,
yes,
the Minister for Defense, number 3,
Interior.
Minister for Interior, National Intelligence Service, DG, the CDF,
Yes.
the Police,
Yes.
IG, the Attorney General,
And the Foreign Affairs.
and the Foreign Affairs.
You 9.
And sometimes co-opted the Minister for Finance.
You 9 and sometimes 10 consume this high level of intelligence.
Yes.
And you're the ones who consume this information. So one of you was involved in what you're saying.
Yes.
One of you.
Yes.
In the National Security Council.
Yes.
Was involved in this.
Yes, with his cohort in bringing the goons and infiltrating the genuine GNCs.
Is this why the president rose and spoke to the nation and said that there was an attempt at treason?
Absolutely.
This is with that information.
Let me tell you, and I need to tell the country, because that's my nature. Why? Yes, no. You know, truthful man is subjective. It's a very subjective. You know, Ricky G calls himself the truthful man when he's the opposite. But let me tell you, why do you think the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, who sits in the National Security Council, goes to Mombasa and disparage and attack the rank and the leadership of the National Intelligence Service. It has never happened since independence. Because he knew the National Intelligence Service had a report on his involvement on the 25th of June, 2024.
Be that as it may, Waziri.
No, I'm telling you.
The question.
No, I'm telling you.
We've had you.
Yeah.
The questions that the people of this.
I mean,
country
I sit in. I sit in. When you sit in National Security Council, like cabinet, those are very privileged. In fact, I tell colleagues that for you to become a cabinet secretary, out of the 55 and 57 million Kenyans, you're privileged. So when you sit in cabinet and when you sit in the National Security Council, you have a position of privilege, and you enjoy and you receive and consume high-level intelligence.
And you must therefore be responsible.
And you must be responsible, and you must show leadership.
And there's an oath of office that you have.
Yes.
There's an oath of office that the president has taken to protect the Constitution. Treason is an act of overthrowing the Constitution. You have information, as you claim. The president came out and told the country that there was a treasonous plot. Right? Any responsible, self-respecting leadership would then follow this up with using constitutional means to bring accountability on this. It's been 8 months. 8 months, Waziri. Not a single person has been taken to court and charged with treason. High crime, very high crime, that is a threat to the democracy and the democratic principles of this country. So whoever it is, even if it's Eric Latif, why have you not brought anybody to account for treason, if indeed there was treason?
Absolutely. The events of June 25th, 2024, in my capacity then, as the Minister for Defense then, what Rigiji and cohorts wanted to do, and I think we were not sure, but for the 2 years that he served in that government, he was a destabilizing factor. There are many things that later we realized he was not as per the constitutional provision as the principal assistant to the president.
That's not the question.
No, I'm coming to your question. And I told you, Latif, you know me, I answer questions. I don't dodge questions. There are many people who are under investigation by the DCI. You know them. Sitting members of parliament, who their phone records, and these members of parliament are all the allies of Rigiji. Their phone records, their movements, the money trail, the week before the 25th, the day of 25th, is under investigation. The DCI is doing that. It will come out.
They haven't completed investigations.
Yeah. 2, what culminated into the impeachment of Rigiji? The moment the second in command is involved in treasonable activities in the change of a democratically elected government. Second in principle, not a cabinet secretary, not any ordinary Kenyan. That's why Parliament, in its wisdom, and the President and all of us felt, then we must save the nation.
This is political hyperbole.
Treason is criminal, not
you did not take that charge.
or elective.
You did not take that charge to Parliament. The question I'm asking, and we have seen the capacity of our national security services. When there was an attack in Garissa, when there was an attack on Dusit, when there was an attack at Westgate, barely 48 hours, and all this had been pieced together, and people were arrested. And shortly, people would be taken to court on the account on charges of terrorism. You're telling us that the same National Security Services, 8 months later, even despite knowing that there's treasoners plot to overthrow the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, do not have anything that they can thread together and take to court.
No. Latif, investigation of that nature. The people of Dusit are yet even to be charged. The ones of Westgate were charged how many years later? The ones of Garissa University were charged after how many years? 4 or 5 years.
How long?
No, let me finish.
They were
And those
arrested
let me
and
finish.
taken to court
Let me finish.
soon after.
Let me finish.
Cases took long.
Let me finish.
But
You know,
prosecution
I
began soon
have
after.
listened to you. How many cases, even corruption cases, investigations take place? Investigators, whether they are from EACC, from DCI, they must have solid evidence to prove that Latif has done this and this and this for the prosecutor and to convince the judge. So you wait, don't rush. Don't rush.
So until then, you have nothing to substantiate your claim.
I am not the DCI, but I can tell you, as a former minister who was in charge, who deployed KDF, KDF was deployed within the provision of the Constitution. As a former minister and as a former member of the National Security Council, I have asked you a very important question. Very important question. It has never happened in the history of Kenya that a member of the National Security Council, or even an ordinary citizen, one of the most respectable institutions worldwide, even in the US, is the institution, the rank and the file and the family of the intelligence. Because they are emboldened. They are concerned with the security of the nation, both internally and externally. Why are you not asking why Mr. Rigiji, my former boss, why is he obsessed with the National Intelligence Service and its leadership? It's because he knows what he was planning to do on the 25th of June and the kind of brief his boss was given.